A page in the life of biography handwritten exercise, Elvis Presley. So today is Sunday, 29 December 2024, and I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle, and I'm gonna go through a page in the life of biography handwritten exercise on Elvis Presley. This was a hybrid attempt / approach contextualizing some of his choices and how they impacted my life. Choices / just who he was. Choices, we'll leave it at that. For the writing exercise, I assigned myself a limit to one side of a blank 8.5 by 11 inch piece of paper. I wrote very small on this one for my standards, so the reading might be, it requires attention. And I wrote this Christmas Eve this year, 2024, so on Tuesday, 24 December 2024. So I wrote it and then let it sit, which is a little different than what I'd been doing with these a page in the life of exercises, being like, because I had so much going into this, and then I was like, but what have I covered already? So what is and what shows the kind of a coherent kind of storyline, and I could include what I've brought up, but it's their a storyline here. So this is my attempt at a storyline, and with this hybrid attempt / approach. So here we go. My one-page handwritten biographical passage I wrote Tuesday, 24 December 2024. A page in the life of biography handwritten exercise, Elvis Presley, by Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle, written on Tuesday, 24 December 2024, Seattle time zone. Writing started 7:21 p.m., writing ended 8:05 p.m., total time 44 minutes. Approximately 2004, I started singing Hound Dog to our miniature dachshund, a German type of hound dog. I worded it as, she ain't nothing but a hound dog waddling down the hall. We named her Roxy after the scene El Tango de Roxanne in the 2001 film Moulin Rouge, directed by Baz Luhrmann. 2008, winter term. I went to the library instead of an assembly on one holiday. I invoked Elvis Presley as a form of self-approving my choice, as the person the assembly was in memorial of did not like rock and roll. About that time, I decided I was not going to take high school physics, invoking Mr. Elvis Presley there as well. 2008, spring term. A lie was spread about a friend of mine in regard to her sexual orientation. It spooked me and made me question whether I would be able to defend myself from unwanted advances if someone did that to me. I was a smaller lady. Maybe I could work on a serious tone of voice for myself for if I was in a threatening situation. An acoustic barrier to try and prevent unwanted physical contact. The male singers that came to mind were Elvis Presley and Johnny Cash. Elvis Presley I was closer to being able to acoustically mimic, so I worked on my voice to make it closer to Elvis Presley's to communicate "Don't Touch Me" vocally. I rehearsed it out loud on my own. It marked a self-improvement on other ways I had developed of saying "Don't touch me" based on context. This approach was more obvious and direct. 2008, summer without school when I was 15 years of age. I reworked words of hound dog minusculely in response to male American gold medal winners in swimming at the 2008 Summer Olympic Games. He ain't nothing but a gold digger, crying all the time. I sang it out loud when I was sitting on the carpeted floor of my bedroom doing a stretching exercise called the butterfly. 2010 to 2011. I took physics for scientists and engineers on campus at a university. Winter 2011 term was an electromagnetism unit and included laboratory sessions on circuits. I felt like I was learning / tinkering like Elvis Presley did in his spare time when he worked at Crown Electric as an errand boy. Spring 2011 term, I selected a pink folder / paper protector with a pink Cadillac man in mind. During 2013, As part of studying the mineral olivine and mineralogy, the three prongs I took note of for branching morphology jolted my memory of the king of rock and roll, Mr. Elvis Presley, and the logo of Crown Electric. In the first half of 2018, I researched a little on the life of Elvis Presley and other high-profile figures. He held my attention in regard to the dynamic he had with a manager/supervisor for more than 1 year. I tried to lock into my memory as much of what I was learning as I could, because Elvis Presley was the only person whose situation I distinguished as possibly being like the one I was navigating through at work. My hiccup on commitment to situation similarity was that my work in geophysics, not entertainment. Before moving back to Washington State from California in approximately 2018/2019, I showed my mom a clip of Elvis Presley performing on stage using my phone to play the clip. I had found the clip and thought she might like it, though she had always vocalized her preference for Elton John. Showing her the clip, just her and I, one-on-one, she expressed she did not like it. On Friday, 24 June 2022, the film Elvis released in theaters. The film included Austin Butler as Elvis Presley and Baz Luhrmann as director. In the morning, on Thursday, 19 October 2022, I ate a whole Memphis Mafia donut in the city of Vancouver in Washington State inside a chain donut store. Over a year later, in November 2024, I found and plucked a copy of the 2022 film Elvis off the shelves at my home library in the local public library system. I watched it on Sunday, 10 November 2024. The morning of Sunday, 22 December 2024, my mom tried to spin the clip I had shown her in 2018 as her, my dad, and I watched a full-length documentary. The afternoon of Monday, 23 December 2024, I bought a 1985 copy of an Elvis Presley Christmas CD at my home library in the local public library system. The next day, my mom referenced the clip I showed her in approximately 2018/2019 at family dinner in a similar manner as she had 2 days earlier. However, this time she framed it as only she had seen it, and it was a full-length documentary. On the morning of Wednesday, 25 December 2024, I gave my dad a DVD copy of the 2022 film Elvis as one of my Christmas gifts for him. Conclusion. So in conclusion, I now have 2 CDs on this shelf. It's like that'd be a different. I've broached music videos, but I haven't broached CDs. Like I have movie notes, CD notes, song notes. But I was like, there's other ways that could expand, but it's kind of, I like where it's at now. Yes. So I'm going to do since I've written this, since I haven't really done that for one of these, a page in the life. So it's through this writing exercise and reflection/introspection, since I wrote it, I realized that 2008 was kind of a packed year for me. There was the assembly and my decision not to take high school physics. I placed in my individual competition at regional and state level History Day competitions, even made a local newspaper/publication for that. There was the rumor/lie about my friend and corresponding self-verbal training with Hound Dog that I strengthened in terms of acoustics when I became a lifeguard in August/September, and in terms of confidence when I started on campus my first college degree in September. And I was voted both most inspirational and captain for 2009 as part of the fall season of swim team. I had a lot. I think and I realized it kind of like towards the end of 2008 and like 2000, and then kind of start of 2009, and I was like thinking through it again, and I had the same realization of it's what I might term like a checklist year, where like there's just a lot that happens and I get a bunch of just kind of general check marks, but like yeah, there is a coherent theme. And it's interesting that like the vocal training that came from Hound Dog, it was very much for self-defense, but I've used it in work settings such as lifeguarding, being a resident assistant in student housing, and teaching. So it's been a journey, but a good one. So there we go. There's a page in the life of biography handwritten exercise, Elvis Presley.